मैं जब कैननास्किस में था, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हेन G20 का ये हुआ था ना, आई वाज एट द रिजॉर्ट. सो हम लोग कुछ 4-5 लोगों का कंटिंजेंट था. मतलब ऑब्वियसली ANI PTI और IANS तो हर जगह जाता है, मगर हम लोग 4-5 लोग थे. मैं, गौरव सावंत था, आई थिंक NDTV से मारूफ थी, और एक दो जन थे. हम लोग सब लोग उधर थे. तो तभी सडनली मुझे एक मैसेज आता है, छोड़ दे वो सरकार में से किससे आया था. बोलते हैं कि हम लोग वेट कर रहे थे, वी वर जस्ट वेटिंग फॉर द ब्रीफिंग ऑन द ज़ेलेंस्की मोदी मीट, बिकॉज ज़ेलेंस्की एंड मोदी वर सपोज टू मीट एट द साइडलाइंस. सडनली मुझे अंदर से मैसेज आता है कि भाई मीटिंग कैंसल. मैं बोला है, मीटिंग क्यों कैंसिल हो गई? मतलब मोदी, मतलब अभी ज़ेलेंस्की का इतनी भी औकात दी है कि मोदी उसको भी नहीं मिलना चाहता. फिर बोलते हैं नहीं, ट्रंप ने फोन किया है. एंड देन ऑब्वियसली फोन पे बात हुई, और फिर हम लोग वेट करें जी, क्या हुआ क्या हुआ क्या हुआ. और बाद में हिंट आया, दैट कॉल डिड नॉट गो डाउन वेल एट ऑल. ट्रंप वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग मोदी टू लिटरली किस द रिंग, और बेसिकली मोदी ने सुशांत सरीन स्टाइल में TH के VC कर दिया. कौन है?
हाँ नहीं, बट
ये हुआ.
हाँ नहीं, ये हुआ होगा, बिकॉज तुम ये देखो ना, एंड आई थिंक मोदी डिड द राइट थिंग, बिकॉज व्हाट वाज ट्रम्प ट्राइंग टू डू. जैसे इनको ये अजरबैजान और आर्मीनिया को बिठा के कि मैं आई एम अ पीस मेकर, तो मोदी वाज टोल्ड हिम फक ऑफ यार. बेंचो, आई एम नॉट सॉरी, ये काट दियो यार.
ओए यार तू छाड़ यार, पॉडकास्ट है.
एनीवेज द पॉइंट इज कि व्हाट एल्स इज मोदी गोइंग टू से यार. साला, व्हाट द हेल डू यू थिंक यू आर मैन? ठेकेदार है यार तू. यू बिकम अ प्रेसिडेंट, ओके फाइन, बट जस्ट लेट इट गो मैन, यू नो. So yeah, I'm not surprised that things have gone in the direction they've gone.
लिटरली ये हुआ.
And in fact, remember, although nothing that Trump says needs to be taken seriously, in the sense that his facts, he plays around with the facts, the timelines, all of that. But yesterday there was this particular thing where he's talking about meeting Putin in Alaska. And he says that, I leaned on the Russians, the second largest buyer. He doesn't name India in that, but he says the second largest buyer of petrol. I've slapped 50% tariffs on them. It's like made them think what will happen to them. He said that, and then he goes on to say that I've stopped so many wars and all. Again, he doesn't mention India, Pakistan. He said, but there was one particular place where, they didn't listen to me. And the guy, he's a really tough guy. He's a friend of mine, but he didn't listen to me, and they went hammer and tongs at each other. And then after a week, they came running to me. Fact of the matter is, India didn't go running to him. It is the Pakis who went running to him. And I suspect, again, I don't have any hard information or any source-based information or whatever. I think the Pakistanis, because remember one thing, Kushal, very often we forget that till the 9th of May, the Americans were saying, and I'm now talking about J.D. Vance, was saying that we have nothing to do with what is happening in the subcontinent between India and Pakistan. It doesn't involve us. It's up to them how they handle it. He's given an interview saying that, right? And then on the 10th, they suddenly say that we played peacemaker. So my own sense is that the way this goes down is that the Pakis call up the Americans and say that, look, the Indians have been hitting us very hard. Now we are going to do something really drastic. And remember, that is also the time they did some nuclear signaling, that we are calling a national command authority meeting and stuff like that, which they later on denied that any such thing had been done. So I suspect, like I said, I repeat, I don't have any information on this, but this is just my analysis of how the situation went down, that they must have given some nuclear signaling to the Americans and said that worst comes to worst, humko to fir fire karna padega. This is when J.D. Vance talks to the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister tells them that if they try something, I'm going to hit them right back, and I'm going to hit them really hard. That's when the Americans panic. And then I suspect, and this is what I actually suspect, all this is given, right? I suspect that the Americans then spoke to the Pakistanis and promised them certain things and asked them to back down, because if they back down, then the Indians would back down, right? And what these guys must have done is that must have promised them certain things. We will call the field marshal, we will talk to you guys, there'll be trade. This thing which Trump keeps talking about, I said I'll do trade with you and stuff like that. Probably he was offering a lollipop to the Pakistanis के यार तुम चुप करके बैठ जाओ अभी मैं फिर तुम्हारे साथ कुछ करता हूँ. Remember, this is the same things which the Americans in the past have done. People like Clinton and all did during Kargil. Okay, something similar. Although Clinton was a much smarter dude, so all that he said was that the president assures the prime minister that he will take personal interest in this matter to resolve differences between India and Pakistan. Everybody knew he's talking bullshit. He's just giving them a face saver. Trump obviously took it seriously. And the rebuff from the Indian side was that we are not going to let you get into this matter. I'm sorry, this is not on. So once the Pakis said, okay, fine, we are ready to back down, they spoke to us. This is when Rubio calls Jaishankar. So Jaishankar tells him that, look, the way to do this is not you don't come into this. You tell the Pakis to ask their DGMO to call up our DGMO. And they'll decide it at that level. Baat khatam ho jayegi. Oh, hua wohi. But the Americans then realized that the Indians don't listen to us, so we have to cut them to size. So I think there is that element which has also come into play. They cut the Indians down to size. They are too big for their boots. They're getting too big for their boots. So I think one is that. The other is, of course, this whole issue of personal profit, which the Trump family or the Trump associates or the organization is seeking from inside Pakistan. Then, of course, is this entire snake oil. Pakistan is overflowing with minerals and wealth, and it's that great El Dorado. In fact, I've just written a piece for ORF. आने वाला होगा या अगर आ नहीं गया कि इन्होंने कब क्या क्या बोला है पिछले 25 साल में और कैसे they've led everybody up the garden path कि जी हमारे को सडनली अल्लाह ने गोल्ड के ज़खायर दे दिए हमारे को. हम ढूंढ तो कोई तांबा शांबा रहे थे, वहां से गोल्ड निकला है. ठीक है, या ढूंढ हम लोहा रहे थे लेकिन वहां से गोल्ड और कॉपर निकल के आया. फिर वो रिको डिक का बोला कि रिको डिक वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट माइन, कॉपर रिजर्व्स एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. अब वो रिको डिक वाला बोलता है कि भाई 37 साल में 37 ईयर्स में $74 बिलियन बनेंगे. $74 बिलियन इज लाइक $2 बिलियन a year. यार मतलब ये तो तुम मुझसे ले लो यार, right? So, and the rumors are right now that Barrick Gold is wanting to sell out because they feel कि यार यहाँ तो फंस गए हैं. So they're trying to rope in people like the Saudis. The Saudis were too smart. They expressed some interest and then they realized कि नहीं यार, maybe this is not the place we need to throw in our money. As it is, they've lost all their money that they've invested in Pakistan. So I suspect that there is that element as well on what's happening in this India-Pakistan thing. But it's a very clear that the Americans are using the Pakistanis as a kind of a cat's paw to get at India. Pretty clear. I don't think anybody can deny that anymore. So let's see how this works out.